Hi, this is How to Live a Life, and this is our Eco Edition number 2.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and this is my vegan business, the Plantsmith.
Nicole, what made you decide to start Plantsmith?
I love vegan cooking and cooking in general, and my one colleague at work said she'd love to taste my food. So I said, okay, well, why don't I start by making you a lunch or two during the week, and you can see if maybe you'd like to order from me on like a regular basis. And she said she'd love that, and I kind of put the word out that week, and I got 17 orders that week. So it's kind of rolled, should I say steamrolled into this thing that I didn't foresee it being. Yeah.
Well, that's actually amazing. I mean, because one thing though, I always think, vegans get a bit of a bad rap. Why do you think that is?
There is a lack of understanding about how food is processed. So people like to go to the shops and very easily take something off the shelf and go home and make it, or go to a restaurant and order something, and they don't have to think about what they're eating, what that animal has gone through to become something that they are consuming. But for me and a lot of people out there who are more empathetic or vegans, you know, they've become vegan, they understand the process that an animal has gone through to eat, and people don't want to acknowledge that. And they don't want to accept that something they're eating has gone through pain or torture or murder or, people don't want to understand that, and they don't want to think about what they're consuming as a difficulty or an inconvenience to them. So it's something that they like doing and they always have, so why must they change?
And it's also because that's how you've grown up with eating specific foods.
Exactly.
And like, especially in South Africa, it's like meat and potatoes and
I know, aardappels and vleis and rice. So that's how we've grown up, and that's fine. But now people give me flack because they don't want to acknowledge the way that they are. So it's almost a projection thing. So I will say, okay, but I'm not forcing you to eat my way, but this is how I eat. But I get a lot of comments coming towards me that are maybe unkind or whatever, but you learn to deal with it, and it's okay. People must eat what they want to, but I think that if people acknowledge that what they were eating was processed in a certain way, or they just chose to go meat-free like a few days a week, maybe it would become more of a thing, and there would be more of an understanding out there in a general, large-term basis. So.
Like meat-free Fridays, for
yes,
instance.
meat-free Mondays and meat-free Fridays. Like, incorporate it into how you eat, and try to understand that what you're eating, there's a process behind what you're consuming. And things that are living and give you life when you eat them, they feel better to eat, and it makes you feel healthy as a person, So, yeah.
But then there's also the perception that creating or finding enough stuff to create diversity in your food when you're vegan is difficult.
It's a huge misconception. I've actually never been more creative with my food than I am now. I've never created such diverse recipes, had more delicious food, and tasted more delicious food from vegan friends and people that I know, and from vegan restaurants and cafes out there than I have now. It's a huge misconception, and people think you have a salad with tomato and lettuce and chopped up cucumber and that's what you eat. It's not the case. Vegan food is diverse and beautiful and bright and vibrant, and there's so much out there. I mean, if you go to a market and they're not selling meat, and you walk through the market, there's beautiful edible flowers and vegetables you've never seen and that you want to try, and fruit and sprouts and nuts, and the things that you can make with those things are so diverse and so flavorful, and so they come across to me as vibrant. So why would I not want to eat that way?
But where are you sourcing from?
I go to vegetable markets.
Oh, okay.
So for me to, not large scale outdoor markets, but markets that, like wholesale markets. So I buy fruit and veg that's raw, it's unpackaged, it's not, you buy loose what the quantities that you want. It's much more efficient when it comes to money.
And environmentally friendly.
Environmentally friendly. It's not packaged in plastic. It doesn't come... I mean, I even have a fruit delivery service that I know that she's delivered to us a few times, her and her partner, and they are amazing. They deliver like the next day or that day. And it comes in a big box, and nothing has been touched by plastic.
Okay, so you've only been going for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. And already you're getting to the stage where you thought, okay, I'm only going to do this like once a week, and now you're cooking how many nights a week?
I started with 1 night a week, and I delivered the next day or froze the next day for, a friend that I was going to deliver to that weekend. But now I have to cook at least 3 times a week, and it's becoming, where I will need to cook every day a week, during the week at least, a couple hours a night. So.
And you have a young baby as well.
Yes, I have a 1-year-old in a few months, but my partner is very helpful. He takes care of her, and he does help me when she's settled. He helps me chop, and he always says to me, how can I chop and dice and help you? And then with the packaging, he helps me, and the labeling and everything. So it's actually a bit of a teamwork, makes the dream work kind of situation. I'm very lucky.
How big do you think this is going to get, and how sustainable is it going to be for you?
From a sustainability point of view, I won't be able to use my setup at the moment for a very long time. So I'm already in my mind thinking of options where I can rent a workspace or buy a workspace where I'll be able to cook more, freeze more, and possibly pay other people a little bit of rental so that I can do things on a bigger scale. This is what I want to do, I've realized, in a very short space of time.
Okay, so you're going to have to get a different space to go and work in.
Yes.
And what about deliveries? Because I mean, at the moment you're doing the deliveries.
So this is a logistics question that I need to face and sort of work out in my own mind. I'm thinking of getting someone who has a little scooter and a freezer box and sending them on their merry way on the weekend to help me, because it is becoming a problem for me to go to a lot of places, but diverse geographically, within a short space of time, because now I'm carrying frozen food. So to help me and to maintain a professional level of that food still being, in its integrity, and the labeling still being intact and whatnot, I'm going to have to get someone to help me. My partner can help me, but he works every other weekend. So for me, it's definitely something that in my mind I have to analyze quite quickly.
And you're going to go into job creation there, which is also a lovely thing.
100%.
So you're not going to be supplying to big chain stores. I mean, are you looking at putting them into sort of more boutique little places where they do those kind of frozen foods, specialist frozen foods?
Yes. So little boutique stores, I know of places that have more of a vegan offering in terms of clothes and scents and all that kind of thing, that have already expressed interest in my things, which is amazing. And definitely a more boutique, offering out there. I don't want to be in big box stores. I don't think that's my vibe at all. And I do want to obviously get into more catering as well. So things will diversify, and then I want to maintain a vegan but like boutique bespoke kind of vibe. So right now I'm making meals, but I don't want it to become so big that I'm just another name.
And you're just churning it out. You want to keep it really nice,
and I want
and family oriented.
Yes, and I want everyone to know that every single order is appreciated, and every single meal is cooked with love and special ingredients that I've sourced, and so I want it to always be Nicole's made it with love. Yeah.
Now, one thing that's going to come up whenever it comes to food, and I've had this coming up in my life often when I've been working with other people, the health and safety aspects of things, because obviously when people are putting out food for people's consumption, there's certain hoops that have to be jumped through, but mainly when you're going on the bigger side. So on the catering side of stuff, I don't think that they have health inspectors coming around to have a look at their kitchen if they're catering for other people, or taking it to a little, as we call them here, a taste neighborhood, which is like a home industry shop. Yeah. So are you going to be able to handle that if you're getting that much bigger and you're going into boutique shops? I mean, they're going to eventually turn around and say, we need to have a health inspection to make sure that where you're cooking is actually up to scratch.
Of course. So right now, on a small scale, it's not something I have to address. But as I get bigger, I fully acknowledge that I'll have to get health and safety certifications, all that kind of thing. And that's something that I have already thought about. Even 2 weeks ago, I was like, this might get bigger. And I'm going to have to, from a legality point of view, from a sustainability, I mean, I don't want to be shut down because there's a cockroach, So
all the best restaurants have cockroaches running around in them.
They are the official taste testers. So I come knowing this, and I'm aware that it's a process I'm going to have to do. So that's fine with me. If I end up hiring 20 people under me, I would absolutely, for me, it will be like I'm having health and safety people. That is a success story for me. That's a good thing. That someone thinks that I'm big enough and that I'm providing enough jobs and food and whatnot to come see where I'm working. No, that's great. Do it.
What have you got on the menu like this week? And do you have to change your menu every week?
I change my menu on a weekly basis just to continue interest. I don't want to keep the same thing on the menu all the time. This week I've got a delicious ginger and carrot soup that I'm going to roast and get all those warm flavors out there and just be this vibrant orange hit of warmth when people open it. It's so exciting for me. And I have kept on the menu for the past few weeks a chili, coconut, and lemon noodle soup with fresh seasonal vegetables, which everyone loves. And when I make it and I taste it, and it's just the best thing ever. It's so warming and satisfying. So I try to keep some warming, delicious, hearty soups going every week. And then I've also had a couple of like ouzo, but made with coconut milk, so it's like thick and creamy and divine. And some plant alternative chicken nuggets I included in my menu this week. So this coming week, I've got it's called a no linaise, like a bolognese but no meat, that I'm making, and I'm so excited about the flavors of that. And it lends to me memories of England when I did work with animals back then, but they made this hare ragu, and just the texture of it is going to be very similar and very hearty and very rich. So later today, I am playing around a lot with tofu lately. I absolutely love tofu and the varieties that people can get. And the things that you can make with it. There are actually so many delicious things you can do with tofu. So later today, I'll be making a tofu dish. Very warming, you can make it crispy if you want to. If you press it a bit more, you can actually get some crunch out of it. And there's so much you can do with it. So I'll be doing a tofu dish later with some coconut rice, just to get the juices flowing and people excited about what I make.
I love tofu. It's one of the things I always have in my fridge, to be honest with you. Okay, so all of this has come around by word of mouth, by people saying, oh, you've got to try her food, and from you saying to people, oh, I've got this, why don't you try it? Where else can people find you though? Because I mean, obviously if people want like vegan food that they don't have to prepare themselves, which there isn't a lot of, let's be honest, on the shelves these days, how would they get hold of you?
I'm on Facebook, so you can find me at the Plantsmith SA. I'm on Instagram, the Plantsmith. I can give handles if you want. The Plantsmith, the _Plantsmith_, so that's me. My following has just skyrocketed in 3 weeks.
Well, if you enjoyed this, well, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, we'll tell everybody about it, share it everywhere, and of course don't forget to subscribe. And stay tuned for our next video. We're searching South Africa for more eco stories to share, so if you've got a great idea, send us a mail to this address right here. And we'll be bringing you more in the line of eco, startup, alternative living and learning in future episodes. So boop that button and subscribe.